magic mirror on the wall, who's the evilest one of all?
Though dark your heart and fair your face, 3 others rise to claim their place.
This year for Halloween, I wanted to create something a little different for my window display. Something that would glow in the night. Something elegantly evil. And what could be more elegant than a crown? But I couldn't decide which villain to choose. Who was truly the most evil? So instead I made 4 crowns for 4 dark rulers, each one with its own story and its own kind of magic. The first crown belonged to the evil queen. I designed the pattern as a vector file and cut it on my laser cutter using black craft foam. The piece was glued to a transparent acetate sheet with clear PVA glue, and once it dried, I mixed the same glue with food dye to fill in the sections, creating a beautifully stained glass effect. When everything was set, I coated the front in clear UV resin to give it that glossy glass finish. Then I peeled it from the acetate and polished it with homemade steel-coloured rub and buff. Shaped the crown and glued it together with contact adhesive. The colours were a little too bright, so I used diluted acrylics painted on the back to dull them down. To add some sparkle, I mixed mica powder into UV resin to create a glittering top coat, brushed it lightly over the surface and sealed it all in with one final layer of clear resin. Dark, regal, deadly.
One wears a crown of gilded spite, a boy king drunk on his own right. Young Joffrey rules with poisoned breath, his throne of swords a kiss of death.
I am the king!
Next came King Joffrey's crown. Again, I designed and laser cut it from black craft foam. Etching in details with a craft knife. I thickened the base with foam clay and sculpted a textured pattern along the rim. The jewels were handmade, UV resin tinted with dye and cured into shimmering gems. Then I painted the crown with gold paint and my own homemade rub and buff, giving it a rich rose gold shine. Once the jaws were glued in place, a final coat of resin gave the whole thing that polished royal gleam. Perfectly cruel and fit for a boy king.
From fire's heart and shadows keep, where molten rivers twist and weep, Lord Sauron reigns, all eyes his own, his crown a forge of fear and stone.
I am the one keeping the storm at bay. Sauron.
Sauron's crown was made from layers of laser-cut foam too, but this time I sanded the angular pieces to a 45-degree edge before assembling them, giving them that sharp, menacing silhouette. After gluing it all together with contact adhesive, I carved in dents and scratches with files and tools to mimic battle damage. Then came texture, a mix of PVA glue, grout, water and black paint, brushed on thickly to create a stone-like surface. Once dry, I brushed the edges with metallic silver and polished it with homemade steel-coloured rub and buff. A coat of UV resin sealed it. But it was a little too shiny, so I finished it with a mist of frosted glass spray to dull it down. Ancient, ruthless, forged in darkness.
Then drifts the witch of endless frost, her beauty pure, her mercy lost. With winter's hand she binds the air and turns to ice all who would dare.
I've seen what the White Witch can do. All of Narnia will be overturned!
Finally, the White Witch's crown, the most different from them all. I melted heat moulding plastic in hot water and shaped it into long, icy stalactites, each one getting smaller towards the back. These were arranged in a silicone lid and set in place with polymer clay. Before being enclosed in a container and cast in silicone to create a mould. didn't quite have enough silicone, so I tilted the mould just slightly to make sure the taller icicles were fully covered. Once cured, I sprayed the mould with release and filled it with UV resin. Curing it under a lamp layer by layer, tilting it at the end to create that perfectly level base. The result? A crown of pure ice. Cold, dangerous and hauntingly beautiful. The tea lights simply couldn't capture their beauty, so I crafted a quick light box from foam with strip lights shining through layers of coloured transparency, and suddenly in that gentle glow, each crown seemed to whisper its own dark story.
Yet still, my queen, your envy gleams, a mirror cracked with cruelest dreams. For fairest, foulest, through and through, no darkness shines as bright as you.
Then let them burn, let them gleam, and let Halloween begin.
And so my 4 crowns take their place, the Queen, the King, the Dark Lord and the Witch, each one shimmering with a magic all their own. They light up my window this Halloween, casting their spell of mischief and majesty across the night. And as they glow in my window, they remind me that even the most evil of things can still be made beautiful. And for one Halloween night, their power is mine. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.